Hey, hey, hey. What's up? Hope everyone's having a good morning. Let me make sure everything's good. And let's see. Let's see. And it's good. Okay, perfect. What's going on? Hope everyone's having a great morning. Yeah, I'd say it's still morning. So the things we have to talk about today: the Meg 2 early reviews, or reviews, scary stories to tell in the dark 2, Resident Evil fan film, and I want to talk about the current, or I guess current kind of Resident Evil fan film, which is very interesting. So let me pull up something, and then we will get started talking about all of that goodness. Ready or not? Also, I'll probably put it on pause, actually, or on mute. I literally have The Shining just playing right next to me. Because every night before I go to sleep, I always like to turn on a horror movie, and that's one of them. Typically, I'll put on Evil Dead or something like that. But last night I was kind of like, you know what? Why not pick The Shining? Okay, perfect. Let's get started. So the first of our topics is this. The Meg 2 or Meg 2, the Trench or the Meg 2, however you want to say it, is, I think, let me see. It releases August 4th. So, okay, wow. So it comes out literally today. So yeah, early reviews were saying, because I could swear I saw on Twitter, I think it was Twitter, that it opened with a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is unfortunately expected, because I don't think, the movies that, Meg 1 was really that well received, at least as far as I know. I think it was just kind of seen as, fun bad or whatever, or just kind of, as this review explains it, from Bloody Disgusting, or from Megan Naravo, I think that's, how you pronounce her name. I'm so bad with names. But how, she says, or how they say in the review, is basically speaking as the Meg 2, the Trench, or Meg 2, the Trench, is packed into the gills with a nonstop bean movie spectacle. So basically, it's not like this. Let me see the review, actually, and what it says. The biggest complaint about 2018's Meg and American Chinese co-production, Lucy, it's based on a movie I did not know. Or it's based on a book. I didn't know that. Vehicle for Jason Statham brought the B-movie sense of fun, but was too restrained regarding the Megalodon carnage. I still have yet to see the original Meg, so I don't 100% know. Meg to the Trench answers the first film's criticism, though not in a way you'd anticipate. Director Ben Wheatley forgoes retreating the same waters with a higher body count. Something that's kind of always been weird to me about the Meg is the fact that, so you have this Megalodon, it's obviously fucking huge. And I'm not going to lie, when I watched trailers for the first Meg, it didn't really capture its the scale of a Megalodon, or at least how I would picture the scale of a Megalodon to be. So it's kind of weird. So it's so huge that it doesn't necessarily bite on somebody, because its mouth is so huge that the chances of you actually getting any part of your body ripped off by a Megalodon is kind of small, in my opinion. That's at least how I'd picture it. Is that its mouth is so huge that likely you're just gonna get it's gonna open its mouth, go over you, and crush down, but you have a small chance, or a pretty small chance of getting your actual self bitten. You're just gonna go inside of it, get digested, acidics, all of that and everything. But yeah, the scale of the Megalodon always seemed a little small for me. And also, when it says higher body count, it kind of just a bunch of people swallowed up and sitting inside the Meg and everything until they eventually die or something like that. But forgoes the retreat of the same water, higher body counts. Instead, Wheatley goes full on B-movie spectacle, which does seem like is something you could tell from the trailers. That does seem very just huge, large scale spectacle and everything, with multiple megalodons, dinosaurs, and shit like that, and then kind of like Jurassic World. Full throttle B-movie spectacle, packing the nearly 2-hour runtime to the gills with aquatic horror madness and nonstop entertainment, which it does seem. I feel no matter what you say about the Meg, or Meg 1 and even Meg 2 potentially, is the fact that you cannot deny that while there might not be exactly the highest quality movies, they're probably they're really fucking fun. Like really fun movies that like, they're fun, you know. Um Picking up 6 years after the Meg left off. Wow. Is now a fully integrated member of the found family forged last film, living at the underwater research facility and furthering their studies of the trench and the megalodon sharks, one of which is in captivity. That's interesting. I wonder how you keep a megalodon in captivity, but go on. On a more personal level, Jonas is now... Okay, yeah, this is getting into character stuff that I don't exactly understand. Zero Pretense. It knows exactly what type of movie it was and wears its influences proudly. DJ, poison tip bullets like in Jaws 2 to Mac. Okay, so signifying doesn't take itself seriously. That's what ultimately evens out the severely overstuffed plotting. Human villains, corporate greed, backstabbing nods to the first film, capsized submersibles with no escape, and more ensure that no attention span gets left behind here. Which, like I said, it's like, and yeah, here's multiple megalodons and everything. I'm pretty sure it's like messy in execution and almost exhausting how much pack gets runs in the runtime without a second wasted. So yeah, it'll probably keep you entertained. Actually, not even probably. It'll keep you entertained and everything, but it's probably not exactly something you're going for like, Gone with the Wind, where it's like this, like, it's just not, I don't know. It probably is fun, but it doesn't hit with, like, a lot of the typical things that you would look for in a award-winning movie. I guess that's the best way to put it. But yeah, it did start off with apparently, according to people, a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, and now it's sitting at, like, 78%. Let's see some of these. A radical rethink is needed, that's for sure. Anyone for Meg versus Megan. That would definitely be a very interesting one. Yeah, here's the review from Blade Disgusting. Oh, wow, this is, like, actually, like, the review from the article. Okay. Somewhere during the film's overlong runtime that runs nearly 2 hours, which I feel like... Which is kind of interesting that they're able to, like, based on, like, Blade Disgusting reviews, that they're able to actually fully pack it full of, like, stuff involving the movie throughout its entire runtime, which is pretty good. Like, it's not going to waste time with a 2-hour runtime, especially. But, yeah, it's cool. It seems to be doing, what I would expect, like, the movie to get and everything. So, the next thing is... I just found this really cool. A Home Depot 12-foot skeleton for Halloween. Like, this whole, like, thing. This really reminds me of the monster. Bathroom Trap is back in Saw X 20. The Bathroom Trap. I'm trying to think of what that is, because I have yet to see any of the Saw movies. Let me see what a Bathroom Trap. Do you mean this by Bathroom Trap? Like this whole thing? Oh my god, this brings back so much nostalgia. The Saw video game. I don't think this is the exact Saw video game I used to play, but... Because I think there were multiple Saw games and everything, and this might be the one that I played. I can't exactly remember, but it does bring back a lot of nostalgia. But I think this is what you mean by the Saw Bathroom Trap, at least I think, from, like, the first movies. It'd be cool, because, like, there's a scene specifically where it does look like it is in this room in the Saw X trailer. But yeah, this really reminds me of the Voyage to Demeter, the, like, Dracula Nosferatu movie. Adam Stanlight. Is that one of the characters? Like, the Adam guy, is that one of the characters from Saw? I guess I have not seen, like, the movie yet. Oh, I do want to. Yeah, so it seems like the, like, kind of looks like the Dracula character. Yo, what's up, Emmanuel? Hope you're having a good day. So yeah, the next topic I want to talk about is the Talk to Me prequel film that's apparently already shot from, like, Danny and Michael Filippo, who made, like, behind Raka Raka, who made Talk to Me. And it's interesting how a prequel is already shot. I'm still excited. I'm very excited to see the movie eventually when it comes to streaming, because, like, I don't typically go to the theater because I don't typically have time. But I really like to see, like, I can't wait to actually see the movie, because the trailers look pretty cool, and obviously I like them because I've watched them from, like, the beginning on Raka Raka and everything, and they're kind of bizarre short films and everything, so seeing them dive into the horror genre is a perfect first, like, movie. But it's cool to see that they already have a prequel shot and anything that they might release eventually. And it does kind of make sense. It does kind of make sense that they would make a prequel, like, while making the first movie, mainly because, like, I don't know, it just makes sense to me. Like, it seems pretty efficient to just, like, make a, like, a prequel, then dive into the first movie, because I think this was based on the opening scene, like a prequel that's, like, based on the opening scene, I think, so it does make sense to, like, make that. The next topic is a Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark sequel, which is still in development by Andre Overall, which I think he was on another episode of Eli Roth's History of Horror. Let me switch back here for a second, because I could swear he was. I'm trying to think of what movie. He obviously did, like, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark 1. I'm trying to think of. Oh, yeah, I recognize him. Yeah, the Troll Hunter, The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Okay. I did really like Troll Hunter. I saw that, like, a really long time ago when I was, like, very little. But it's cool that he's getting, like, scary stories to tell in the dark too. Obviously, at the moment, I don't think it's being written. I don't think it's, like, obviously it's definitely not being casted, considering that it might not even be written already. Well, although it's based off of books. Mark Hoffman is back in Saw X 2023 movie. Yeah, I did see that, because he was heard in the first few seconds of the trailer, as far as I know, which is really cool. Because I do know he was, like, one of the big Saw characters, as far as I know. But yeah, it's now been 4 years since the release of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, the long-awaited feature film adaptation of the 80s/90s book written by Alvin Schwartz. I think that's how you say his name. The film was a success at the box office for Lionsgate, scaring up a 104 million worldwide. So why wouldn't we have gotten a sequel yet? A follow-up was announced, but to date it hasn't come to fruition. Well, he's the director of The Last Voyage? Wait, really? Oh, shit, that's actually cool. I literally just learned that out. I did not realize he's the director of that movie. Confirms that Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Amanda Young is back. Yeah, the character Amanda, when she took off the pig mask. I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah, she's back, which is really cool, because I know a lot of people were excited for that. Yeah, it literally says that actually right here. Saw's trailer, Jigsaw and a return for a twisted sequel to the original Saw movie. That's really cool. But yeah, basically, we have a story, we have a script. We've been working on the script as late as last year and even slightly into this year. The process obviously stopped at the strike, so yeah, a script was being written. It says we have a script, so I don't know if that means it's finished yet, or if it's almost finished midway, although they did start writing it. That's basically the point, is they did start writing the script, but stopped at the strike, so, and then the demeanor or whatever, like, eating up 2 years of his life, and put a dent in the process. But, it's cool to see one's, like, actually being made. Alex Steinheit is back. Try to figure out which character that is. Adam Steinheit. Oh, wait, he's back? Wait a second. That would be really cool if he was actually back. House of Wow. Wait. Oh, it doesn't say it's in. It doesn't say it's in development. But I'm really curious about that Adam character. Yeah, because they did. There is a shot in the trailer where it kind of looks like it's his body swinging, which is really cool. But it would be cool if, like, he was back, even if it's for like a brief cameo. Oh, I definitely want to do a video on this eventually. With Jaws 3, I definitely want to do that. And this is kind of the next thing I want to talk about, although it kind of scares me because last time I did, like, watch the trailer on stream, it kind of, like, for whatever reason, like the audio didn't sound right. But this is a new Resident Evil fan film that I want to check out the trailer to, because fan films are always pretty cool and everything. Saw Game Over Maze. Yeah, so I want to check out the trailer here. I want to make sure the audio works on stream, so let me see if pretty cool and everything. Saw Game Over Maze. I want to make sure the audio is working before I start watching this. Yeah, so I want to check out the trailer here. I want to make sure the audio works on stream, so let me... Does it work? Pretty cool and everything. It's kind of weird that the audio is very low. Actually, I wonder if that's a thing with OBS now. The software I use is if they, like, purposefully... Oh, I think I now know why it wasn't working. My computer volume was muted. Okay. I have to wait for this going, sorry, and then we'll, like, watch the new Resident Evil trailer, or new Resident Evil fan film. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this works. Okay, that worked. Yes, perfect. So let me pull up this. Is the Chucky video still coming out today? Yes. It's out at 2 p.m. Let me see. Okay, so 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's when it's coming out. Which is in a few hours, I love the Saw X trailer too. It looks a lot larger scale than, like, typically. But yeah, the new Chucky video is coming out today at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Which maybe, like, it's the same time for you. I'm not sure. But it is coming out today. 100%. I do want to make more Chucky videos. The only issue is that it's just kind of like... There isn't a lot coming out now, so I'm trying to, like, experiment with new horror franchises, which is why I'm, like, doing these streams or anything. Just kind of, like, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, and all of that. But yeah, let's watch this. Wait, what the shit? Oh, wait. Wait, I feel a little confused. Wait, just... Wait, I feel a little confused. Wait, is it... Because it says... The Kiwi Diary starring Charlie now live. Lawrence Gordon is back. I think he is. I'm not 100% sure. But it's just kind of weird because I thought it's a trailer. Because they did say we got a trailer last year. So I guess the campaign for the movie's up, but they already have a trailer. I don't know, I feel confused, but it's still cool. It's still cool nonetheless. Fan films are always cool. And this one, I think I watched, I watched the trailer already. And it genuinely looks, really cool. Yeah, it looks like people that care about the Evil Within 3 game. I did play that a really long time ago, The Evil Within. And I did actually really like it legitimately as a game. I was actually looking at this yesterday, the Every Death in Chucky Season 3. Because I wanted to kind of do a Chucky Season 1 ranking the kills. I was thinking of doing a tier list for, all the deaths and everything, but it's kind of I feel like I would rather rank them. Which means I might have to start writing the video all over again, unfortunately, but Maybe I'll stick to a tier list, or maybe I'll switch to, ranking. I don't know. Because there's a lot of deaths in Season 1, and a lot of them are cool. Some aren't great. I love this one, Principal, that one. I love this death specifically for Chucky because it's one of the very, very few times. Yeah, the Evil Within, Evil Within game was actually scary to me, especially that opening when you're walking into the mansion. You check out the security cameras, you see the guy just flashing around or anything. That actually scared me. But yeah, this one, I really like this Chucky death because, it was one of the very few times in the series, in recent time, actually, where we hear Chucky, actually sound angry and was fuck you, Andy. I actually really like that because he actually sounded angry, which is always something I always kind of, want more of in the series. And if Season 3 is truly the scariest of, all of the seasons, I want more screaming and just fucking batshit angry Chucky. This was actually a cool death because it was a huge turning point. Yeah, just a bunch of unnamed deaths. That one was fine. This one was pretty big and, just cool in general. It's kind of interesting how they showed off 1931's Frankenstein. Yeah, Pig Mask is back. It's just kind of interesting that they did, how they showed, Frankenstein 1931. Because obviously Universal is, Chucky, and Chucky's Universal and everything. And, Dominant C did say, oh, we could have, Child's Play and Chucky, crossover, or Chucky / Child's Play crossovers with, Universal monsters or, other Universal properties. Which would be really cool to see him, see, Frankenstein. Obviously, they're not, in the movie, the actual character of Frankenstein. Which would be really cool. That was cool. Tiffany, cutting off his head with a nail filer. This one was pretty cool. Junior was a huge death. I hope we do get the socks, in an opening scene. That'd be really cool. So, I feel like that's kind of all I really want to talk about in the stream and everything, honestly. Just, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, Meg 2, early reviews, the Talk to Me prequel, funny Home Depot, scary as shit, thing. So yeah, that's all I kind of want to talk about in this stream. I hope you guys did enjoy. Have a great rest of your day. And yeah, what are your thoughts? That's all I want to talk about. What are your thoughts?